This is the Sports Dynasty Podcast. I'm Trevor, and this is Juan. And we are back together and as one in front of you guys. Before we get started, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go check out the Apple Podcast. We are there. We're Apple affiliates. Go to any podcast platform. You'll find us there as well. Click on scan your QR code, and you'll see us there too. That means how you feeling?
I'm okay now.
Good.
Last Saturday's show was hard to get through.
I can imagine.
Yeah, my throat was closed by an hour in, so it was like, oh no, how am I gonna finish the other hour? But I'm good. I'm back, 95%. Small cough here and there. I'm all right. I'm living. This Decepticon shit can't keep me down. Whatever I had, it's still unclear.
We're gonna keep it at that because, yeah, this is ridiculous. This whole thing in New York City, with all this sickness going on, is ridiculous. So I'm just glad we're all better now, back in front of you guys. So yeah,
the fact I could take that deep of a breath and not cough, yeah, I'm good. I got this.
Yes.
I got this.
Week 16 is officially in the books. First of all, I hope you all enjoyed your Christmas weekend.
I almost did.
Yeah, football, Christmas, and even NBA. If you're not a Laker fan, then
that I enjoyed.
If you're not a Laker fan, then you hated it, or a Celtic fan, you hated it, like me. But anyway,
you're a Warriors fan, you're in cloud nine.
Yeah.
Over your ass, Suns. Anyway,
yes, week 16.
We'll talk about the Superior League.
He's not wrong. In America,
it's the truth. Football reigns king in the United States of America. Now, let's go through week 16. It's not going to take very long because there are actually a lot of beatings in this game, so there's not much to really cover. We are going to spend the most time on the New England Bills game because that's the only real game that had a lot of, what should I say, stakes?
Stakes and meaning, yeah?
Yeah, so every other game is like, And if it did have something to, like, stakes-wise, it was a blowout. So, like, there's not really much to say. So let's start off on Thursday night's game. If I can remember it, it was 49ers Titans. Titans win on a walk-off field goal, basically. Garoppolo.
I just don't know what to say anymore. I mean, at this point, I know Trey Lance is not ready. Next year, I'm telling you, it's time to unload him. It's over for him. This is it.
It's confusing because he's good for like 3 weeks, and then he has that one dud, which is why people continue to go on and off him. Because he was actually masterful for like, 3 or 4 games before this one, and then he hit this one where he hit 2 of the most ridiculous interceptions, which brought Tennessee back in the game because they were actually smacking Tennessee up about the first half or so. And those picks, that was it. It's like Garoppolo doesn't understand that linebackers know how to play underneath coverage because he loves to throw at them. I don't know why. Don't get it.
He's weird, that's all.
Oh yeah, because of that, San Fran, I believe, is still 6 seed though, I believe. But they would have been owning the wild card hunt basically if they would have won this game. They would have been 1 game behind Arizona. I don't remember who won the season series between them though. I kind of want to say it's Arizona. I don't remember it on top of my head. But they would have been, in other words, if they would have won this Tennessee game, they would have been good. They could have even won. If they wanted to, they could have rested on week 18 if they felt like it. And knowing them, they could use that because they're always in the hospital for some reason. So they could have, but they blew this game. Well, you got to keep playing hard for the next few weeks, trying to maintain your wild card status. But the fact that they got here, period. We never spoke about this because of all the craziness that you and I have been going through for the past 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that we disappeared because of sicknesses and busy schedules and life and all that. Like, we haven't talked about the surge of San Francisco that they came out of nowhere. They were left for dead, and then boom, now they're owning the bum ass wild card scene in the NFC because that's exactly what it is. They all suck. So
yeah, it was a tough loss for them. I mean, even Tennessee, despite how bad you've been playing as of late with the injuries going on, this is the game you definitely needed because it's like, fine. They basically gave the game to you. They just gave it to you. Say, hey, here you go. We don't want to win this one. Jimmy G's playing like garbage, and go wait for them. The best they want to do, they can really. They technically already clinched the division anyway because they have the season thing with the Colts. Anyway,
well, technically, if they lose out and he loses, wins out, I think they flip by 1 game. I think Indy will have 1 more game above them in the record book, so they cannot do that. But they do have, I think, Houston. I want to say in week 18. they'll beat their ass if they feel like it. But they do have Miami next week, and that's no walk in the
They
park.
have to go at least 1-1.
Yeah.
They have to split between those two games.
Yeah.
At best, because they're not winning both games. Absolutely not.
I actually agree with you. I agree with that.
I think Miami is. We'll get to them in a second because, again,
we'll get to them for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
They played against a quarterback that I don't know belongs in the league, so I don't want to talk about that. That was
Yeah.
yesterday's game. Who cares? The first score was a pick 6. Like, I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care. Let's talk about the other Saturday game for 1 minute. Browns, the Packers. Packers win because Baker Mayfield literally took them out the game. Literally took them out the game with 4 interceptions.
Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski. When you're running the ball, even though you ran the ball like 18 times, but you ran for over 200 yards. Run the damn ball. Like,
you ran for 219
Why would you run for over 200 yards? Which in most instances, if you're running the ball over 200 yards, you're gonna win the game.
219 yards, 25 attempts.
Exactly. If you're gonna run, like, how often do you hear someone running for over 200 yards and lose? It's not often you hear that.
No, it's not.
And then you have to just want to put it in Baker's hands. Baker Mayfield, why is he still playing? Why is he still playing? We've seen this for 2 months already. We've seen it for 2 months.
That's why, to me, I'm not blaming the season's failures on him. I'm blaming it on Stefanski. You're the coach. You kick his ass up like that. You're not playing, boss. And put in Case Keenum, who's one of the best backups in the league. Why do you have Case Keenum if you're not going to use him? Because this is the reason why you use him. If your starter has a broken shoulder, then that's what a backup is for.
He's playing with a harness. He's playing with a harness. Like, I don't understand. You're letting him play with a harness
like this. And so, only I want to kill Baker Mayfield. He deserve it, yes, but the blame to me is going towards the coaching organization, which is of course is going to be a Cleveland thing to do, right? Let your starter, who clearly is half broken, you rather have him out than a healthy backup who actually is proven, who's played in the NFC Championship game before as a starter. Just saying.
Yeah.
So let's move on because Cleveland makes me sick. We're going to talk about the Colts and Cardinals, the reeling Cardinals. Dare I say, quote unquote, the real Cardinals. They might be here.
I'm sorry.
Lost the first seed and losing the division now. Just saying, they're 5th seed in the NFC.
I'm not surprised by this at all. Honestly,
me neither.
I'm not. I've said that they weren't going to be nothing.
Yeah, horrible clock management. Can't run a 2-minute drill to save their lives. Half the time I don't know where Kyler Murray's trying to throw to, and he doesn't even run the football that much. Usually what brings them their success. I wonder who's to blame for all this.
I'm sorry. Didn't someone say that a specific someone will find a way to outcoach themselves out of games, and particularly they obviously outcoach themselves out of the number 1 seed? Our friend Cliff. We said this before. I'm not surprised this happened. I knew they wasn't going to be nothing when they lost to Green Bay with no receivers early in the season. I knew that. And then, despite the fact that you got your asses whipped by the Lions the week before,
then you lose to a Colts team with no offensive line. Literally, all 5 starters at one point in this game were gone. All 5. That's the best offensive line of football. They did not play, basically, in this game. And you still got stopped.
Lost. You still could not get to Carson Wentz.
And I think there was no Darius Leonard in this game, too. That's their best defensive player.
No, there wasn't.
There you go.
And that's why I said, you know what?
Yeah.
Y'all ain't nothing.
I don't want to hear nothing about no DeAndre Hopkins, bro. I'm sorry. That's not an excuse for this, bro. It's not.
I said it before.
Sorry.
One and done, and I was right. It's going to be happening. Because next week, I play Dallas. They're going to beat the shit out of you guys, too. So, yeah. They are.
They might lose out the rest of the season.
They may lose out.
Which will make you, I think, on the money. You gave them 10 wins for the season, 10 right?
10-7.
Yeah, they'll bring him right in the money. If Seattle wasn't so trash, you would have hit all 4.
I would have.
Yeah.
Because Seattle is garbage. But we'll get to them, too.
We're going to get to them in the rapid fire. I think we're going to start that right now, actually. Lions and the Falcons. There was no Jared Goff. So if Jared Goff was playing, I would have picked him to win this game.
But the fact that they were almost there. They almost took this win from them.
They're Atlanta.
Again, Atlanta, the fact that they won 8 games this year.
Yeah. I'll answer that question in 5 seconds. But continue.
Yes. The fact that they won
7.
They won 7 games. First of all,
I don't know if they're going to win 8.
No, they've won 7 games.
Because they're losing to Buffalo next week.
Yeah, they are.
I'm saying who they play. They play the Saints. They could lose that. I'm not sure what they're going to win.
All right, the point is, they've won 7 games at this point. No one thought they'll win these many games at this point. I didn't. I had to win like 3 or 4 games.
I think I'm like 5 or something.
3 or 4 games this year. I thought it was going to be terrible, but they found ways to win. But again, the Lions, Dan Campbell, I like this coach. They have a coach. They have the coach. They play for this man. This is why.
You know what? We'll see. Because we felt this way about like Joe Judge and other people last year, and look at them now. So you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna say he's good yet. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna learn my lesson.
All right, you're right. As far as like they're playing for him, and you can tell that they play for him. He hasn't done anything yet to completely change that. But they're competitive in every single game. I'll give them credit for that. So if you're a Lions fan, that's what you want to see. Be competitive. You're not talented enough to win games, but be competitive.
Yeah, let's go. We're taking too much time with them. Yeah. So this game is literally meaningless for everything. Literally, which is funny.
I got it.
Jaguars and Jets battle of who gets the number 1 pick. Jacksonville lost this game. Beautiful, wonderful. Buccaneers Panthers. Cam Newton should not be in this league. I do not understand why he's in the league.
It's time for him to go. It's time for him to go. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Giants and Eagles. Eagles beat the hell out of the Giants. It took them a minute, but they did it. They're in the playoffs at the 7th seed for now. We'll talk about them later because we have a playoff segment after the recap.
And Jake Fromm is horrible.
Duh. That's why I don't talk about this game.
If you haven't noticed, he's horrible. So now they have no quarterback. How you imagine have all 3 quarterbacks to be one is worse than the other?
Yeah, they really have it like that.
That's literally horrendous.
Yeah. Broncos lose to the Raiders when Derek Carr went out for the game for about a few seconds. He looked and he saw Nathan Peterman. He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna win this game with 1 arm," and he did. Drew Lock, yeah.
Why did Nathan Peterman still in the league?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What else? Washington Cowboys. We ain't talking about this because this game had no shot. This game was over before these idiots brought their own benches, and I still don't understand what that means, but whatever.
Do you know why? Do you know why I felt? Know who I felt? Who knows the biggest loser out of all of them? NBC. NBC has had.
They've had some duds this year.
A lot of duds this year, and especially you could have flexed this game out, but I didn't see any flex it out because it was clear implications of come on.
Technically,
yeah, but come on, you guys really got the short end of the stick this year. They got some really bad duds in their football, and the Vikings Packers game coming up this weekend. You making another one?
Packers are gonna stomp them.
Support NBC.
Toa. Dolphins and Saints on Monday night. You played Ian Book next. Dolphins will actually have to play a football team next week, finally. It only took them 2 months to match up against a football team. Now they're going to play one in Tennessee next week. We'll see what Miami is about next week.
7 in a row.
Because the Saints defense actually beat the hell out of Tua.
If they beat Tennessee next week, that's going to be a problem. A big problem. And we'll get to that too, especially for the New England Patriots. That's going to be a big problem.
Matchup. Yep. So the next 2 weeks are really going to test Miami. Are they actually okay or not? We'll see. All right, now rapid fire is almost over. We're gonna probably spend a little more time on these games. I actually didn't watch this game. I was busy watching New England get beat up by Buffalo. But the Chargers absolutely got decimated by Houston Texans. There was no Bosa, there was no Derwin James, there was no also Eckler, and I want to say there was one more person missing, and I can't put my finger on, don't remember. But they were missing a lot. But so what? You allowed 40 against the Texans. How was that possible?
Has the Texans scored 40 points all season?
Yeah. Like if I'm saying, I don't know. If they lost, okay, regularly, so it was like 24-20 Houston. It happens. You get snuck up on. It happens. You lost your defensive starters, whatever.
But they beat the hell out of you guys.
40? No.
They beat the hell out of you guys. I'm sorry. That may be, to me, even though there's still a lot of time left, there's 2 games left for them to get back in the playoff push. But to me, if you don't make the playoffs, that's what lost it there.
There's no question. That is the game that you're going to look at. If they miss the playoffs,
like he's lucky. Brandon Staley is lucky he's a rookie coach because this is like it was Anthony Lynn last year. That's a fireable offense. That's a fireable offense.
They did not score 40 all season. They were close in week 1. 37.
No, that's what I said. They have scored 40 all season. Like that doesn't make no sense, man.
Yeah. So who cares? Whatever.
Davis Mills had the best career in his career.
He did, and he killed at 98% of bet cards, I believe. I want to say.
Yeah.
98. The real number I think is 95. I think most people had the Chargers in a bet. Next. All right. What else? What else? Rams and Vikings. The reason why I'm bringing this up, besides Kirk Cousins being garbage, is Matthew Stafford's not good. He's been underwhelming to trash all season long. He really tried to single-handedly give the Vikings this win with his 3 horrific interceptions. It was very bad. I had it in the corner of my my Sunday ticket trio of games. It was pretty bad. Sony Michel pretty much took that offense on his back, him and Cooper Kupp. So I won't talk about awards so bad, but I didn't put that on our schedule for this show. We might do it next week or week 18. But that Cooper Kupp MVP thing is like, dude, like you usually will never give a wide receiver an MVP because somebody's literally giving you the ball for you to do anything. So if you're that dependent on someone, how can I give you the award? Plus, usually wide receiver production doesn't necessarily tie towards wins. Like you'll have receivers who get like 1,500 yards and like 10 touchdowns, and their team will go 3 and 4 and 13. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Calvin Johnson.
Like Calvin Johnson's life. Look at Larry Fitzgerald's life. Like that happens. So it doesn't really matter. But for this, I think might be the first time I can remember where wide receiver production really does matter for a team's success this year. This might be the first time ever. Because this isn't seen. I never even see this. I think the closest I've seen this from was Antonio Brown for the Steelers. I think that's the closest I've seen it. But when he's gone, that Steelers team. But this might be the first time I really see it because without him, like how they move the ball. I mean, this game it was because of Sonny Michel. Sonny Michel was a beast. This game. This is like probably the best game he's played in his entire career. And he's had some good ones in New England. People probably won't remember it, but he really was actually a decent player for New England. This might be the first time I've seen it. He really, like, without him, they don't do nothing. Like that Seattle game on Tuesday. Without him, they're not winning that game. Seattle actually locked them up for the most part. But he was the one getting open. Wow. I'm actually impressed when I see him. Wow. Like, he definitely is in line for offensive player of the year. Him and Jonathan Taylor is between them for that award. But MVP? To me, MVP is not close as Aaron Rodgers. It's not even a question. If he don't win that award, there's a problem. To me, he's the best player in football. It's not even fucking close. Like, no, it's Aaron Rodgers. But for most player, yeah. But the MVP hype, I actually don't hate it for Cooper Kupp.
I don't hate it either.
I don't hate it either. I can almost go as far to say I think he deserves more than Jonathan Taylor. People can be like, what? Jonathan Taylor has the best offensive line of football he's running behind. I'm just saying. That helps. He's playing with a quarterback who's not that good. Like, you're not gonna tell me nothing. So Matthew Stafford is very underwhelming. Am I crazy? Am I wrong?
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah,
but I personally think the level of difficulty, I think there's going to be probably Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I want to be mad. I'm going to be mad either way, but Aaron Rodgers has been playing phenomenal right now, and he's just like giving it to quarterback. So
that's the biggest reason why I'm putting it. Yeah.
They'll give it to him. But for offensive player of the year, Jonathan Taylor, maybe. Yeah, you could put Kupp. Yeah, you can say it too.
Him and Kupp. It's going to be one of those two.
They won 11 games this year. So it's interesting.
Yeah, see, that's how useless the game was. I don't care about the game. Like, we all knew Los Angeles was going to win this game. It's just interesting how bad that Stafford had to play for it to be this close. Is the reason why. But yeah, I really do think there's an actual shot that, not a shot. No, Aaron Rodgers is going to win his award. Like, I think that's clear now. But Cooper Kupp's MVP stuff, what I'm trying to say, is not far-fetched. Because usually you're like, no, wide receiver, a chuckle. No, but I'm really impressed. Anyway, we pay sports time on this game. Ravens and Bengals. So, Ravens' entire team was in the hospital. So what did everybody expect was going to happen? This was easy. If I was betting this week, which I should have, but I didn't, I would have added to the Bengals total, because you can do that in FanDuel. I would have put Bengals plus 17. I mean, minus 17. Like, I knew they were going to put up 50 on this team. I was wrong to put up 40. Close enough. But I knew it was going to be beating. It was impossible.
They beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. And, again, the Bengals, especially how injured and garbage. I want a mixture of injuries with the Ravens and mediocrity from the Steelers and the Browns. That, hey, even though this Bengals team is kind of like, okay, they're by default the best team in the division because everybody else is messed up. But
bad or hurt. Yeah.
Bad or hurt. But they have improved, though. They have improved. They're kind of fun to watch, though. You know what I'm saying? You play what's on the schedule and you win. You can't get mad at that. So they can easily win this division. They can probably win this division.
If Cleveland loses,
if Cleveland loses, then they kiss the division.
The division's over. Yeah.
But if they lose to Kansas City, which I think might happen,
that's what thing's gonna happen. They're
and,
losing Kansas
and
City.
if Cleveland finds a way to not be garbage against Pittsburgh, because the fact that y'all lost to Pittsburgh early in the season 15-10 is mind-boggling to me. But if you could beat Pittsburgh, you can set up Sunday Night Football with the road to see you beat the hell out of Cleveland and go to the playoffs. Then we're like, okay, Joe Burrow has arrived. Even though I think he's arrived already, but he can only get better. To me, he can only get better, honestly. So very interesting. And then
for the podcast people out there who are not watching YouTube, I literally have Joe Burrow's jersey right on my headrest in my chair. So that's what I was pointing at. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, so it'll be very interesting how actually they can only get better, especially with how offensively the receivers, who I think is explosive, on these offensive linemen,
to say the least.
Yeah,
they are explosive.
I'm telling you, they're like one offensive line help away from being a dynamic offense to the point where, oh my god, you can't.
They can't be stopped.
Can't be
stopped. Like they will be Kansas City.
They're almost there.
Yeah.
You understand? So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Baltimore's case, sorry. This wasn't the year for y'all, man. It makes me sad too, because I really think if they were healthy, they were number 1 seed to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if they were healthy, but
again, for those, there's people, there's idiots who keep on saying, "Oh, John Harbaugh." Listen, in fact, they won 8 games with this injured team. Says a lot about coaching. The coaching, John Harbaugh is a excellent coach. They won 8 games.
They won 8 games with him.
Listen,
man.
they almost beat Green Bay a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just right there, people talk about, oh, you should win for 2. Listen, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna take the gamble. Listen, you guys, literally, the person that you have is literally injured to all hell. You're gonna take what you can get, whatever, and take a gamble. And I don't get mad at that.
You can put it in this logic. It's either you have to stop Aaron Rodgers twice by kicking an extra point because you're gonna go to overtime, or you get this 2-point conversion and only has to stop him once. That's basically what your gamble was. It's like, do I want to stop the MVP twice, or do I want to stop the MVP once and risk it? Because I was not trying to give him the ball more than once. Like, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Like, they work out, but come on, like John Harbaugh, when he and everybody gets back together, they're going to be a problem next year too.
Most likely, yes. I think Lamar really has it.
Yeah, Lamar is like saying,
besides the last month.
Yeah, Lamar's like, listen, we want this. Come on, I like Lamar, but this team could be easily the number 1 seed if they were healthy.
Yeah, they get an extra receiver. That's actually, because even though Rashad Bateman was really climbing up, they get an extra receiver for Lamar. This team is an issue.
Yeah.
Huge. They're gonna get Dobbins back, and they're gonna be an issue this year. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they find the injuries finally caught up to them. Yeah, there it goes. Are we missing anything, or is it time for our game? I think it's time for our game. I think. You mentioned Chiefs? Oh, it's Steelers? No, right? We didn't do that one yet. Okay, that's what we do. Okay. So, did we talk about this on the air or no? About the 1 seed thing? I think the last time we did a show, we did mention that. It was before.
When the Patriots lost to the Colts,
it was before that.
Yeah, we said if you lose to the Colts, then they can easily
get the 1 seed. And that's going to be a problem. And now, here you go.
That's going to be a problem.
And now, look, they have the number 1 seed, and they are not going to let it go. They are going to be the first seed in the AFC.
And that's a problem.
Yeah. They might hit the Super Bowl again.
As bad as they've been offensively, because I don't care. I do not like.
They're not that good. No,
they're not.
I don't want to hear it.
I keep telling. As a Chiefs fan who watches this show, we love you though. But
yes, Miss Amber.
Yes, Amber. Yes, I told the cover the other day. I don't like this offense. He's saying that. She said, but the fact that they won the game without Tyreek Hill doing anything, Travis Kelce doing anything,
which I've done most of the time.
It's sad because listen, Patrick Mahomes, whatever though. But I don't like this offense. The defense has been playing incredible. Defense
is crazy.
The last 2 months. So I'm like, okay.
Defense is crazy. So even though they've played against crap most of the time, but it's fine. They're crazy.
Yeah, it's called finding continuity with them. So now they find continuity with them. The pieces is there. It's scary. And again, no one wants to play in Arrowhead in the playoff time. Nobody does. That is ultimate home field advantage.
Yep.
It's a problem.
It's a huge problem. We're going to talk about strengths, weaknesses, and matchups in the playoffs after this.
Yes.
But yeah, there's only maybe 1 or 2 teams maybe that has a chance against Kansas City over there. Maybe. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, they got 1 seed. They're good. So we'll be seeing them late January in the AFC Championship game. There was no possible way they're losing their first round. I don't care who they play against, unless it's one of the two teams. They got it. I know though, as much as we bashed them all year, it's cool to see how they really got their ish together. They fixed their problems, and they're actually rallying behind Mahomes' down year, because that's still happening. He's still not that good. But because I don't know what the hell the Steelers are trying to do in the Sunday night game. Sunday game, I don't know what I was seeing, because it was embarrassing.
That's still defense. There used to be pride. They used to pride themselves on defense. Pride saying, "Yo, you will not say we're gonna punch you in the mouth." This Steelers defense is honestly an embarrassment.
They're soft as hell.
I've never seen the Steelers defense this bad.
The Chiefs were actually running on them like something serious, and that team can't run the football.
Yeah,
but Hilaire and the other dude was
embarrassing.
And I think Hilaire is horrible. I don't think he's a good player at all. But he was running on them like he's the first overall pick was the 32nd, right? Like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
like he was he should have been drafted in the first round. That's how he played. It's like, damn. They were bad. The Steelers defense can't stop the run for nothing. Like you saw the last few games, they began ran off over.
The problem with Pittsburgh is now you can't even retool the way you want to, because you still don't have draft picks for the next few years. One, secondly, you're in cap to all hell.
To me, that's the biggest reason.
The biggest reason, and obviously Roethlisberger is out of here. But you can tell you can tell he's packed it in. Packed it in.
Whoopsie.
You know what I'm saying? So he's packed it in.
Okay, now I don't want to spend more than 10 minutes on this because there's already 26 minutes in the show. I really want to do our playoff segment.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this Buffalo. That was the most important game of the week because everything else didn't have much stake on it. This is for the AFC. This is for the division. The division is basically locked now. So there's one thing I'm gonna mention, and I'm gonna let him talk about whatever he wants to talk about. But I'm gonna give you some. I did some research on this, just to know that, just make sure that I'm not crazy. But this is the numbers beautiful. It's not a Sports Dynasty show in winter without Trevor coughing on camera, right?
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm the one that just got over basically COVID. I think that's what I had, and I ain't coughing. But anyway, this is the Buffalo's offensive drives. Ready? First quarter, 13:34 on the clock at the Buffalo 39-yard line. The result of the drive was a touchdown. The drive lasted 6 minutes and 57 seconds. Remember that. Keep that in mind, right? Right. Mm-hmm. It was 13:34 to 6:37. They don't get the ball back to the next quarter. In between that, New England punts in the first drive, then the Buffalo drive, and then New England scores. So it's 7-7. Buffalo second drive. This is 14:40 on the clock at Buffalo's 25-yard line. They get a field goal in this drive, so it's 10-7, 5 minutes, 27 seconds of time possession. So they have over 12 minutes in 2 drives of time possession. Okay. They get the ball back at New England's 33 after Mac Jones' interception by Milano's beautiful swat when he was targeting N'Keal Harry for some reason. The play before then, N'Keal Harry dropped the wide open curl. Just saying. That's the play before that. But anyway, yeah, and sometimes I may let you talk as much as you want. Let me just go through this so I can prove a point. At New England's 33, 7 minutes, 57 seconds, about halfway through the quarter. This is a turnover on downs. So they don't score in this drive. However, they do get the ball at New England's 33, so this is field goal range, and they still took out 3 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. Only 30 yards from here to the end zone. Mind you, this was, I believe, at New England's 2-yard line, 4th and goal. I think it was the 2 or the 1. They were literally right there to score. They just decided to go for it. And if I'm not mistaken, Josh Allen was the reason why they didn't score. I think he threw behind, I forget which receiver in this drive, which he kind of did all red zone long. Every time he was in the red zone, he threw behind all his receivers. They just count the ball still. But it was interesting how inaccurate he was down here. I don't know why. But anyway, that's what happened this drive. So this is more on him. The defense did not get the stop. He messed up. There's a difference. Now you probably know where I'm going with it. I gave it away. Now, I believe New England does nothing. They punt in this drive, I'm not mistaken. Quick 1-minute punt. New England's 42-yard line. Still second quarter. 3 minutes, 10 seconds on the clock. 1 minute, 25 seconds. The Buffalo scores touchdown. So it's 17-7. They get the ball later at the 1 minute mark, but it was just a penalty happened and they didn't kneel the ball out. So that drive doesn't count to me. They get the ball at halftime. 14 minutes, 54 seconds. 5 minutes, 58 seconds time possession. They kick field goal, scores 20-7. The Wigan basically waste the entire third quarter. They score a touchdown, so it's 14-20. Buffalo gets the ball back at their 34-yard line, starting at the 1 minute 34-second mark. Goes into the fourth quarter. They score a touchdown, but fail 2-point conversion with 11 minutes 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So the time of possession was 4 minutes 59 seconds. Okay. They scored a touchdown, but they failed the 2-point conversion. Notice something. I haven't heard the P word yet. The punt. I didn't hear that word. New England gets the ball back. They score. They score in about 5 minutes. Buffalo's 25. They get the ball back at 7 minutes 37 seconds left. 5 minutes 7 seconds. They take off the clock. New England gets the ball back just over 2 minutes. Buffalo scored a touchdown. The score was 33-14 at this point. Or 21, sorry, at this point. Down 12. I believe New England had one timeout or no timeouts at this point, so this game is basically over. Now, what did you guys hear? No turnovers for defense. No punts. They got one quote-unquote stop because Josh Allen threw behind his receiver in fourth down. The overall time possession that New England had was 24 minutes. So Buffalo had the ball for over 35 minutes in this game. Over 400 yards total offense. 28 first downs. 75 total plays. No sacks. No turnovers. So now you're going to say, if you look at this game, you're going to be like, oh, the offense, they were so bad in the first quarter. They were so bad. Nah, boss. This defense was so anemically bad in this game. They are the reason this game lost. This game was out of reach. They got no stops in this game. They allowed, I think, what will be the overall average of their drives? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
New England only had
13 play drives.
Yeah.
6 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. So the Patriots offense only realistically had, well, I think, 6 drives outside of the one at the end. You will count that 7 if you want. But they've scored in 3. They scored 3 touchdowns in 7 drives. A field goal, you want to add that. So that's 4 out of the 7 drives they actually scored. Where's the defense? What happened? What happened was that when they dropped back to play zone, everybody bounced back 10 yards and gave the middle of the field whatever the fuck they wanted. That's what happened. Whether it's McKenzie doing the cross, whether it's Dawson Knox doing the cross, whether it's Stephon Diggs stopping in the hitch, whether that is what happened. Whether it was Zach Moss or Singletary getting a nice inside curl, whatever they wanted, they got it. Mm-hmm. That's what happened. There was 0. When I say 0, I'm talking about 0. I might be being nice. It might be negative resistance in this game on defense. It was one of the worst defensive performances I've seen from Belichick in about 10 years. Since the defenses were bad, it was embarrassing. And then when everything went on man, Stephon Diggs' quick slant, pop, killed J.C. Jackson. So that is what happened in this game. It was not close. This score should not have been even close to what it was. Buffalo should have easily put up 50 points, but they didn't feel like it. I don't know what the hell was going on their red zone trips that they decided to take longer than they were supposed to. I don't know what's up. But they should have put up. This should have been a blowout. This is not close. And, well, because of this, Buffalo fans are high and mighty, and that's good for y'all. I'm happy that y'all think that y'all better than what you actually are. It's cool. But do they deserve to feel that way? Yes. They should. Because I would. Because this happened the other way around, I'll be talking madish on the Buffalo fans off camera here. But They dominated. They needed it, and everybody knew coming to this game they need to win this game. They need to win this game bad. And what's the funniest part about it to me that makes me laugh is the narrative that the Buffalo team is soft, right? Well, they weren't soft on Sunday. They punched New England in the mouth multiple times in this game, to the point where this was easily the worst game that Matthew Judon's played in this entire New England 10 years, not even close. Deion Dawkins basically Samoan dropped him all game long, and that man was literally missing in action all game. Yeah, this was pretty embarrassing. I know there's going to be some Mac Jones talk. We'll get to that in a minute. I want my guy to say what he wants to say real quick.
This game pretty much described for me as death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's exactly what this was. You probably talking about. You mentioned why they could have scored 50 points on us, but they didn't. They didn't prove a point. Saying no, saying we're tougher than you. We're tougher than you. We're gonna beat you in the trenches, which trenches was a big part of this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna beat you in the trenches, and we're gonna make you guys suffer. Because it'd be too easy to blow you guys out and whatever. That's too easy. No. They were so confident that we're gonna run the football. We're gonna just completely dismantle your linebacking core, your secondary. We're gonna do whatever we want because they kept playing off 10 yards of the receivers all game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Miles Bryant.
Mind you, there was only one receiver they had in the game. Gabriel Davis and Uncle Beasley was out in the game. Just saying. Just want to put that out there too.
Miles Bryant. And
number 41.
Number 41 in the Patriots. He definitely had a tough time at the office because Isaiah McKenzie literally had his way with him. He literally did.
Mind you, he's not good.
Yeah.
Isaiah McKenzie
is not good.
Not a good player.
He had a career year against this Patriots defense. And they couldn't do anything to stop it. They didn't even stop it. Isaiah. This is how I'm gonna put this more perspective. Isaiah McKenzie had 7 catches all season coming into this game. He had 10 all game against the Patriots. 10.
Got more than that?
Yeah. 10 for 110. 10 for 110.
Nope. 11, 125. And a touchdown.
I'm sorry,
I knew it was more than that.
11 for 125. A career year, mind you, he had 7 catches all season. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous how the defense literally couldn't do anything to stop him. Do whatever they wanted. Deion Dawkins, who is out, a big pickup, came back for the game, and we were talking with Tom. He said that's a big help for them because if not, Matthew Judon would have been going crazy on this Bill offensive line. But Deion Dawkins was there, and he was the difference maker because we couldn't find Matthew Judon nowhere. He was literally getting demolished. It was like, come on, this one of his worst games. It was really bad. I know the Patriots defense, our personnel, and it's always been this way the last couple of years. How the Patriots cannot contain mobile quarterbacks. Every time we would try to get to Josh Allen, he finds out of dodge. He finds somebody who's like 10 yards open. Like it was the flats were too open. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
How open the flats were. All right, so that's another one thing. Now we're going to offensively. Now I know we were depleted. Offensively, we didn't have Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris did what he did. He could. He's still Damian Harris, but whatever. He did what he did. I have something to say about our good friend, and I mentioned their names on Saturday. N'Keal Harry and Jonnu Smith. What? Why? First of all, Master N'Keal Harry, why are you here?
That's a good question.
We don't actually. You have played football your entire life. Catching footballs your entire life. Why are you driving footballs for? The interception that Mac Jones threw was tipped, and because of you, because it was your fault that the ball was tipped, and because of the interception. Then you have our good friend Jonnu Smith, forgetting how to catch balls and stuff, to catch balls as well. We don't actually do much. Just catch the football and make plays. You don't actually do much. But he can't do that. So that's neither here nor there. The offensive line got bullied. They got bullied. Not much they can do. And it's Matt Jones. Matt Jones played terrible in the first half. Again, I like the poise that he showed again, but it's not good enough. At the end of the day, despite everything you have around you, you still gotta find a way to make plays. I know it's not fair to say that, saying, "Oh, but he's a rookie. He doesn't have the personnel. The personnel he can only use the personnel available to him." All right, I understand that, but at a certain point, you have to make plays. You have to learn the job. You're a quarterback. You're a quarterback. You're a franchise quarterback for a franchise QB for a team. I'm just saying that. So you have to learn. You gotta make plays, and you didn't.
The last two
games he has not. But then people say like, "Oh, the poise." Yeah, I like that. But at the end of the day, what does poise mean? You're losing games. We could have easily got our asses blown out in this game. We could have easily got it blown out. Again, now we have another issue. With 2 games left, right? We can pretty much say the division is over. Patriots not winning. Patriots aren't winning the AFC East.
You know what's funny? You know why that's the case? It's a very funny thing. The saying, the past sometimes come back to haunt you. You know what the division records is between the two teams? The Patriots right now are what, 3-2 in the division, right? And Buffalo is 4-1. You know that one game, week 1 against Miami.
Yeah.
Guess what's coming back to bite them? Because as of right now, the Patriots and the Buffalo Bills have the same record. They're both 9-6. I wonder what game's coming back to hunt New England now.
Week 1, which we said it would.
Yeah. Because Buffalo's going to end 5-1 because they've blown out Jets in 2 weeks. And New England still has to go beat Miami, who's surging right now. So that's tough. But let's assume that they win that game, right? They'll be 4-2. I wonder what game was the one that stopped that.
Because the Bills are not losing to the Falcons next week. They're
not winning out.
They're going to win out. So they don't win the division again. So it's a learning experience for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's to play. This is why me and Juan, at least, we did not. I know it was tough. We were 9-4. We won 7 games in a row. People was like, "Oh my God, this is Super Bowl contenders already," and it was like, "Okay, fine." But I was the I said, "Hey, we play one game at a time."
I'm glad you bring that up, so now people will know. I believe this game was a wake-up call to remind you that this team was never supposed to be in the Super Bowl contending picture to begin with. There's a rookie quarterback and a defense with 1,000 new pieces, and the offense with 1,000 new pieces. And this team has got into a rough start, and then went on a damn hot streak and won all these games in a row. People are like, "Oh, Super Bowl contenders. You're gonna hear all the media people talking about it. You heard it all from October to November, and we're sitting here like, I don't know about all that. Because we never put our expectation that high. We know the type of quality the NFL is now. The NFL is garbage. Everybody sucks. Everybody's a step low. Which brings me to another point I mentioned real quick before I come back to my point. Is that you know how people wish for parity? This is what happens when parity is. Because there's nobody good, nobody great. So now everybody's lower and now everybody's closer together. And that's where your parity comes from. When an NFL has good quality, you notice there's like 4 or 5 teams that are godly, and then there's these bum teams in the middle, and then the middle is far away from the good teams. That's how it usually goes, and you get a good quality of football because you got teams who are high quality. When you got teams who are ish and everybody's closer together, it's usually because everybody's kind of a level down and meets the bad. That's how it works. So that's why when people wish parity, be careful what you wish for, because this is what you get. Look, especially the quarterback quality this year. Oh my God, it's disgusting. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This team is actually going on schedule. Actually, this is what is supposed to happen. We both predicted 11-6 wild card and maybe one playoff win, but losing in the second round. Like that's what we predicted, and that's exactly where this train is chugging towards, right there. So we never put our expectations to the point where we're like, we're going to win a Super Bowl. We never said that. We never said that. We thought that AFC East crown was possible because of the hot streak and because of the Buffalo win from the first time. But we were like, we ain't saying nothing about no damn Super Bowl, nothing about that. So this team is actually going towards where they're supposed to be. So if y'all mad, that's y'all fault because who told y'all to expect all that Super Bowl crap? Like that's on the media putting that in your heads. And this is why you're supposed to come here so you can get a nice fat reality check. Now, Buffalo gave them a nice fat reality check. Calm it down. This team is going on schedule. Now, next year, when there's an actual receiver, maybe that could be added to the team, because that's another reason why the offense was splitting up, because damn, nobody could get open. So it gets somebody who actually can get open. And for Belichick to add at least one more cornerback, because again, now y'all see why a lot of zone was played, because no one can really cover that well, as y'all saw. Just saying. So there's things that this team needs to fix in order to become world contender, but they're not contenders. I'm very happy we didn't really go in that we didn't fall for it. See, this is what happens when you listen to real smart people here. We're not real contenders, and it's okay.
There's always room to improve.
Yeah, there's always room to improve. Saying that makes you feel like a loser. It kind of does.
It does,
but it's the truth. That's how it is. So this was a nice fat reality check. You saw us in the AFC shakedown. Like we said, we're gonna lose. We said the Patriots are gonna lose this game.
We did say
we both say it.
They were shocked when we said it on the Friday show with hashtag. He was shocked when I said it. We will lose this game, and then he was more shocked. Said, "Oh, yeah, double down." Yeah, we both said it.
We'll lose.
But Bills fans couldn't believe it. Like, yo, what? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not one of those Patriot fans that gonna. No, we're realistic.
And that's why we have the stage, and that's why you're on the other end listening, because we don't do that. We tell you how it is and what it is. Okay, 45 minutes in, we spent a lot of time on this game, as you said we were going to do. Now, let's go to our playoff segment.
Yes.
Let's get that done so we can get you guys out of here and go about your day. Hopefully, you listen to this in your car on the way to work, in the train on the way to work, during work, or hopefully you're enjoying this and not laughing too hard.
Yes.
Or I hope you do. Now, this segment is our playoff segment. They wanted to do two shows ago, but life happened and it took me out. So literally took me out, put me out of commission. So let's go about this. We're gonna go through all 1 through 7 on both conferences. We're gonna talk about their strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to talk about what is their best and worst matchups in their conferences. We're not gonna go as far as Super Bowl. We're gonna go as far as to who they're playing in their conference. That's it.
Yeah, at least the first round.
Yeah. Who their matchup and who we think they'll beat up and who we think they'll get beat up by. That's it.
All right.
So let's go through 1 through 7, the AFC first. Right now, Kansas City's number 1. We got Titans 2, Bengals 3, Bills 4, Colts 5, Patriots 6, and Miami at 7. Now we'll start with the Chiefs. What are their strengths? Actually, you all probably think, oh my God, it's the pass against Mahomes. Nope. It's their defense.
The defense.
Their defense is killing it this year. Oh my God, they're really good this year. I believe they're top 10 in DVOA this year. Right now, they're an amazing group of guys. Somehow, how you go from historically bad to almost the best in the NFL in 8 weeks, don't know, but they found a way. They did.
It's coaching. It's good coaching. Andy Reid and
Spagnuolo. Yeah,
Spagnuolo, because they was ripping him saying that he may lose his job.
So we said it.
Yeah, but they were historically bad. And listen, you have a championship pedigree there. Turning around.
Also, when you put Sorensen where he's supposed to be, and you put Chris Jones when he's supposed to be, and Frank Clark comes back, things like that kind of make your defense better. You know what I'm saying? So you go from bad, stupid personnel decisions to now doing what you're supposed to do, and now you're a good defense. So that's your strength. Now, their weakness. This is a little tough, but I personally think it's no question is the offense. But what specifically is the offense? I don't think it's the running game. I think is a P word called patience. I think that what their weaknesses, they don't like to take the easy stuff a lot. And when they don't, and they want to do their little stupid pirouette ballerina garbage when they roll out and all that, stupid assery, that is what they like to do. And if they try to force that, that's how they get their ass whooped. That's exactly how they played offense the first 2 months. And that's why they couldn't score. All they gotta do is take what the defense gives you when you're good.
It's like baseball.
Yeah.
Stop trying to hit home runs. Just try to put the ball
Yankees.
in play.
Stop doing that.
Just put the ball in play. Once you put the ball in play, you have a chance. Take what the defense give you. if you do that, you have a chance to beat anybody. But there's no need. There's no, and that was their problem. And then when the defense say, "Hey, they're gonna try to go deep," so we're gonna take that away from them and just have them struggle because they can't. Now they figured out how they can do that. So yeah, that's gonna be tough for them. But you're right. Patience is key.
Again, it's not a sport thanks to whichever getting destroyed in this throw. I don't understand where that comes from. I don't get it, but yeah. Now their best matchup between Titans, Bengals, Bills, Colts, Patriots, and Dolphins. What is the team that they will absolutely will destroy? There's actually like 3 or 4 they'll beat the crap out of. But to be honest, out of all these teams, I think their easiest matchup might, and Miami is going to be a cop out. I'm not saying I'm gonna take out Miami because they're easily the weakest team out of everybody here. I'm going with Bengals. I think Bengals, they have, and you're going to see it on Sunday. They're going to beat the hell out of them. I don't think it's going to be close, to be honest. I think that's their easiest matchup to me personally. Their hardest matchup, even with the cornerback injury, I say Buffalo. I think Buffalo is basically made to beat their ass. I think Tennessee's close, but again, it all depends on their health. Like if they're 100% healthy, like Julio will actually play football for once, and Derrick Henry's there, and their line is there, then Tennessee, I think, is really close to being a good matchup against them too.
I think their toughest matchup, if they were to get by, they probably will win, but especially because they have home field advantage. The New England Patriots, and healthy New England Patriot team, they know how they know how to scout Mahomes very well.
I think in the neutral field, that's correct. In Arrowhead,
no, but I'm saying that I'm not saying that it'll be a tough matchup. They'll get the win. They'll get the win, but I'm telling you, it won't be an easy matchup over at all. But they probably want to avoid New England at all costs, saying, "Listen, a healthy New England is dangerous." Luckily, they're playing but they were playing Arrowhead, so that's way for them. But Buffalo, also, especially how Dan now we see them play early in the year. Now it's like, okay, fine. Now that just Kansas City is back in full strength now, the defense is back in full strength now. They may want Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo be like, man, they're like, man, we beat your asses already. We're not going to go over there and do it again. We went to your house and beat your out of here before. We'll do it again. And I think, be careful what you wish for, honestly, for Buffalo. I think that's why I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now. Okay, Buffalo, not really. I think New England is much more of a tougher matchup especially over there, because now the Bills they love to fill themselves. So let's see.
Okay.
I think New England will be a much tougher matchup.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna put that in the ad. All right. Tennessee, their strength. When Derrick Henry's healthy, their strength is Derrick Henry. If he's not healthy, I actually think it's their physicality, it's their strength.
Yeah.
Their weakness. If without Derrick Henry, is no question their passing game, then their offense literally does not work if he's not there. Defensively,
they literally work with what they got.
They do.
They literally are literally are what they are.
This really is a gritty as crap team, dude. Like they don't care. Like Mike Vrabel was good, man.
Yeah, they play for him, and he's a good coach. Now, I think with Derrick Henry being there, they're much more threat of a team. But
I think if he's not there, they're not a threat at all. That's what I'm saying. I'm going with this mindset, assuming he comes back and he's at least 85%. That's what I'm going with.
I don't think so. That. Yeah. So I think, to me, Tennessee without Derrick Henry,
this is not even. They're going to get beaten, losing first round.
Yeah, one and done. They're the number 2 seed, right?
They'll play Indy.
They'll play number 7.
No, I'm sorry, no, they won't.
They'll play Miami.
Oh, they're playing this week, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see, but their first round matchup is not going to be easy for them either. They may just barely squeak by, depending on where they play. But right now, if you are the seeds 5, 6, and 7, even if you're like the 6 or 7 seed, maybe you're hoping that Tennessee falls to you. You're hoping that, all right, fine, I feel more comfortable going on the road and beating them there. Like New England will be like, all right, fine.
Without Derrick Henry,
we can go to Nashville and beat them. Miami, we'll see Miami. Let's say if Buffalo, more likely Buffalo's the 4th seed. So Indy, Indy can
Oh,
work
Indy
that.
wants it. I know they want it.
Indy wants them. So listen, so you can go down there and beat them too. So
No, Indy wants it. If Indy matches up against them, I'm calling a 40 piece. They're gonna beat the crap out of Tennessee. I know it. I know they because they should have beat them the last time they played, and I know they didn't forget that.
Yeah.
That was matchups, or did we just go to matchups by mistake? I think we went to matchups by mistake. All right. So who they match up good against then? Because we did who they're worst. Who they match up great against?
Honestly, for the first round matchup, honestly, I don't see
a matchup. Period. Like it doesn't matter what round it is.
They probably want Cincinnati. Cincinnati probably would be their best matchup for them because I think I think Cincinnati. Yeah,
I can see that.
Because
you know what's giving me a roadblock? It's that variable. Are they going to be healthy or not? Which bothers me. As I'm trying to go through this, like if they are, but that variable is really confusing me with them. Like I think this is going to be easier access for the NFC. But here, because in Hennessy they're winning, but they're so hurt at the same time, and we don't know what type of status their hand's going to be if he comes back. We haven't even heard anything yet, and it's almost 2022. I don't even know what's going on. So it's hard. This is for them. This is really, really tough. Like who do you match with the best? Like if they're healthy, if they're really healthy, like Bengals, yes. I think maybe probably Buffalo too. To be honest, they probably match up well against. Yeah, they go with those two. It's tough. Cincinnati. Yeah, this is tough in a bad way. Their strength is
explosive offense.
Yeah, it's their offense. I'm trying to think because their run defense is actually pretty good. But if you get past that, their pass defense is not that good at all. This kind of shows how weak this NFC North is. How lucky they got that Baltimore got hurt from preseason.
And also
Baltimore would have dominated this.
And also with that offensive line being very suspect,
that's why it's tough to say.
It's tough because worst the matchup for them would be teams like New England, Buffalo, Indianapolis. Yeah, those teams that they definitely
should even Kansas City.
Yeah.
Chris Jones will obliterate these dudes. Like it's not even bad.
So it's more of a blessing in disguise for the off regular season to not be a curse now. So yeah, you're gonna win the division because your division is hurt or mediocre. But now they got with a problem where that offensive line is going to be
exposed.
Exposed. And playing as the number 3 seed, right?
They're third. They're gonna match up against New England.
They may fall to fourth, more likely.
Which then they would have to play Indy, which is arguably worse.
Yeah, so the worst case scenario is playing against Indy or playing against New England in the first round for them is worst case scenario.
They're going to lose.
They're going to lose, and they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat pretty badly.
Sorry,
but the offensive line it should have been addressed. But yeah, they have an explosive offense, but the offensive line is going to be an issue for them, especially in the postseason. Yeah,
That's why I said this is hard in a bad way because they're not going past the first round.
Not the first
they're
round.
losing at home.
Not at all.
But that's why it's hard to say who they match up well against. Like I don't know, to be 100% honest.
They don't match up with anybody at all. Honestly,
I don't think they match up well against anybody at all either. To be honest, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I think the only team they can possibly beat is this version of Tennessee, but they're not going to see them.
Yeah, so they won't be able to see them. Because you lose the first round.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like that's why it's tough.
I said the same thing with Tennessee. We said that their best matchup is against Cincinnati, but it's like you're more likely not going to see them anyway. So basically, I don't see either one of them making it past the first round. But if they're not healthy, but Tennessee maybe to a certain extent, depending on if they get healthy, enough to. But Cincinnati, I don't see them at all.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Obviously, their weakness is their offensive line and pass defense too. The pass is not that good, but offensive line, and that's what they're gonna show. Yeah, matchup well, I don't know. Like whoever's 7th seed, like I don't know. Like let's say they play Miami, that's actually a little tough too. If the Chargers go into the 7th seed, then boom, they'll beat. I'll guarantee you they'll beat the Chargers if they play in the playoffs. That I promise you. I know what happened in regular season. I remember. It ain't happening twice. That I guarantee you. But a lot of teams that they have in common in this AFC side is that a lot of them are physical up front, which is something I'm not used to seeing in the AFC. That usually I feel like usually an NFC thing. AFC this year, like the Chiefs are physical up front now. The Titans are physical. The Bills have a good front seven. As the Colts, DeForest Buckner, physical. Patriots, physical. Everybody's physical up front. Shit, the Bengals got physical front too. Trey Henderson in them is good. Like, that's why I'm interested. That's why I like people will probably think about the NFC. They got Tampa, they got Rams, they got Green Bay. And like, yo, don't sleep on the AFC, especially up front on defense. Usually, physical fronts kill in the playoffs, and almost every AFC contender has that. Something I'm not used to seeing very often. So that's why it's also tough for me when it comes to matchups because these physical fronts, dude, like that's why Indy is like a problem. They physical both sides. So it's tough. Buffalo, their strength, Josh Allen, duh. Their weaknesses, offensive line, offensive line, and I'll say coaching, offensively. If you watch the AFC shakedown, you hear a lot why. I think those are they're defensively. I think they're actually pretty damn scout. Like they are softer than the rest up front, but as you saw on Sunday, if they want to, if they have to, they will stifle up. They'll do it. So that's why I don't want to put that as a major weakness. I think their offensive line is a bigger weakness than that. Who they match up with well against. I like Kansas City. Then we get Kansas City. I think that's their best to me. I think them and Kansas City, they won't be a beating like the last time if they play again. But I think they're probably the best equipped to go up and Arrowhead and actually beat them. I think them. Who they don't want to see,
I'm gonna say it. They do not.
There's two of them.
They do not want to see the Indianapolis Colts or the New England Patriots. I'm sorry.
I don't think you want to see it the third time, boss.
I don't. First, I don't think I want to.
I know they are laughing and rolling our eyes. Yeah, and that's exactly why I'm telling you that. Keep sleeping.
Yes. They do not want to see.
They want to disregard the first game, and you want to buy into last game because it went by so far are your favorite.
I mean,
don't learn lessons from this year.
I find even if you want to sleep on this, even if we don't recommend it, if you want to sleep on the New England Patriots, you really going to sleep on the Colts again after what they did to you?
I don't think they'll sleep on the Colts.
No.
That I don't think they'll.
No. I'm talking about if they were on the eyes, talking about us, right? One man literally made you his bitch. No, through my language, but he literally had his way with y'all. So I think that'll be very interesting how Sean McDermott and Leslie Frazier come up with a game plan to stop him, because that's how if they can't stop him, they're not beating them.
I don't think anybody can beat them. They can't stop him, to be honest.
They're not beating them. They're not beating them at all. So that's their two toughest matchups. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fans coming out of me, and I don't care. I can't wait. I want to see the Buffalo Bills a third time. I want to see our third time.
I'll keep my composure. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts. So their strength, Jonathan Taylor and that wonderful offensive and defensive lines. Very physical for both sides of the ball. They block for Jonathan Taylor, and then once he gets his 3 yards of cushion, he'll break another 3 tackles and leave. That's why he's so damn good, because he doesn't rely on the offensive line to get his production. He'll still bulldoze you and go down the field regardless. So that's their biggest strength. Their weakness, their passing game, because Carson Wentz is very sporadic. You don't know what version of Wentz you're gonna get. And I say their passing defense too, like their secondary. If you can be able to block their defensive line, that defense is gonna have a long day. Ask Tampa Bay. So that's their weaknesses and strengths. Their best matchups. We said their best matchup is Buffalo. Like they'll might steamroll him again. And no one talks about them in Kansas City. I don't think Kansas City want to see them either.
I don't think they do either.
Their worst matchup. This is a little tough. I want to say a healthy Tennessee. I don't think they want to see that because they play similar. And then if you give Tannehill the play action back, they're an issue. I don't think they want to see that.
I think right. Healthy Tennessee would probably be.
Healthy Tennessee is a team that will beat them. And they could beat them down too. I think they did the first time. This Colts team is dangerous, dude. At least against the AFC, it's dangerous. And the NFC, I'm not sure. Like when they go up against Green Bay and teams like that, that's gonna be interesting to see how they want if they ever get that far. So I think NFC will have an easier time beating than the AFC. I think they're built to dominate this conference, but I'm not sure about winning Super Bowls though. That's a topic we'll talk about another day. New England, their strength, defense and running game. Weakness, rookie quarterback, and cornerback depth. That you saw that on Sunday. They only have one good corner, and he's not the best coverage guy. And people love the AC as a top 5 corner. But you could say that if you want, but his coverage skills ain't as good as some of the other guys. So just remember that he's probably the best ball hawk corner that's probably in the league between him and Xavier Howard. Those are the 2 best ones. But that means they give stuff up, and JC is prone to do that a few times a year in a game. So, but yeah. Let me see matchups.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, they'll beat the crap out of Cincinnati. It's not even close. That's gonna be a beating.
And Tennessee, and the current Tennessee team right now, they have their best matchup with them.
Okay, their worst in Indianapolis. Even though I think this time there'll be a nice little war between the two. I want to say Kansas City. It's the opposite of what you said, but based on when you look at matchups wise, and the thing I'm factoring in the most, especially since we can do that now, is location. I cannot see a world where this Patriots team scores more than like 16, 17 points in Arrowhead. If that. In that stadium, Mac Jones in there,
loud.
I don't see. Like, this will probably be a beatdown after a while, to be 100% honest. Like, it'll be the indie game, except it won't stop. Like that. That's what I think. I don't see a world when they go, man. Tom Brady barely did it, and it took this dude going off sides. That's not a fun place to go. Like, they don't lose over there, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that this whole conference allowed them to get first seed when they were at their worst, I don't know what y'all gonna do. I know our team ain't beating them. I know that for a fact. So I don't know what y'all gonna do. Good luck, Buffalo. And now Miami. I almost don't want to do this because I know they're not beating anybody.
No.
Not with that offense. Not happening.
Not that offensive line.
Yeah, as I'm saying, their strength, I get, is defense, is their secondary, that's their strength. Their weakness, the rest of the team. Their offensive line is the worst offensive line in the NFL. And Tua, on prime time, on playoff games, you saw Monday? I didn't, but I know what happened. I'm not trying. Nah.
And also,
the Chargers had a way better chance to beat playoff teams than this team. I'll tell you right now. So, but I'm sorry. You gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Just a little bit of luck for them. They had the luxury of having a schedule where they were able to capitalize on I don't want to say weak schedule because they're 1-7. Capitalize on a schedule where people were injured and just things had to happen before they went.
Which goes to the point why I hate when people look at the schedules early season and try to guess stuff. We only do it because like we have to. If you're media, you have to do it. But in all honesty, it makes no damn sense because a team 2020 is not the same as a team in 2021. So you going through the schedule and saying they're gonna beat this team, this team, this team. Everybody is always entirely wrong. You may guess your record right, but when you're going from game by game, you're not going to be right. Every team is different. So Miami's schedule is the way that they won their games. No one's going to guess that in the offseason of 2021. The way they played the games, the way the teams ended up being. You know what I'm saying? So, like, no, like, it's stupid. So they won on the game because we didn't see any of the stuff that happened coming because the league completely changed this year, which it does year by year by year by year. So that's why I don't want to say lucky. It's because it's just how it ended up. So they won the games that they're supposed to win, some barely, and some they will pass. So it is what it is. But nah, this I can tell you one of this team ain't a playoff team. That I'll tell you. So who they match up well against?
No, I'm not.
Nobody? I don't know.
They wouldn't done.
Yeah, whoever's second seed is, you more likely gonna have an easy time. Like, I'm sorry to tell Miami fans, but I think they don't even care. The fact that they made the playoffs from one, and if they do, they made the playoffs from a 1-7 start. I think they're okay with it. They technically made they made the playoffs.
I don't think that's
when
ever.
They probably should have done it the year before. But yeah,
I don't think that's ever happened. You will 1-17, 1-17,
and then make the playoffs. Yeah, that would happen this bum ass year, right?
Yeah, I would. That's crazy.
That would happen this year.
So even with the
this
extra, even with the extra game, even with the extra game. Let's say if they had a regular 16-game schedule, they literally control their own destiny. When they're in.
Yeah, see, they could go 9-7, and that's still a record good enough to make the playoffs most years. Crazy. NFC. You have Packers first, then Cowboys, Rams, Tampa Bay, then Arizona at the 5th seed, 49ers, and Eagles. Now, the Packers, their strength. Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, and should be 2-time MVP. That'll be his 4th. Damn. And he'll be back-to-back, too. He'll be back-to-back since when? Peyton, I think? In 08 and 09? I think that's the last time he was back-to-back MVPs. He's more likely going to do it. Nice. He's kicking ass, though. That's their strength. Their weakness, I think there's a few of them that hasn't been really exploited yet. But I think their biggest weakness, let me think, because you can point to their depth at wide receiver. You can point to their linebacking play. They're a little bit soft there. Go with one of those. You can go with those. For me, I don't know if you have anything different to add.
You can say that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. This is a really good team. It's really tough to say what their actual weaknesses are. Who they match up well against? Well, there's a few teams they match up well against. They match up well against Arizona. They match up well
against San Francisco.
Against San Francisco. Oh, do they? Ooh, wait. Huh. I think that might be a little bit closer than you think. That's interesting. I think a little closer than you think. The thing is that they don't have a secondary, though. So if they let Devontae Adams get loose, they're putting on 50. So you might be right, actually. They would add them in the list. They're good. To me, they're the best team in the league. So they're gonna have multiple teams where they can beat up on.
If Philly was get past Dallas, which I don't think that's gonna happen. If let's say they did Philly, because I don't think Philly's that good. The defense is old. Who's gonna rush them? Fletcher Cox is old as hell. It's like grandpa and the defensive lines. Like, besides that, like, who's gonna rush the quarterback? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
They'll beat up on Philly, like almost everybody else would. No, matchup against them. Who's their worst matchup? I want to say this team so bad, but Aaron Rodgers' history against them is hilarious. On paper, based on how they play, I think. Oh, my bad. I thought something fell in behind us. It might be Dallas, but he is their father. Yeah. So it goes from like historical context to what you see on paper and what you see on the field. And I think it's Dallas, but he usually beats the hell out of Dallas, and he's beating them up his whole career. So it's kind of hard for me to say that's their best matchup when he always sits on them. So let's look for an alternative, shall we? Oh man,
it's pretty tough. Actually,
it actually is tough. The reason why it's tough because Buccaneers have no secondary. If they were the same team as last year, I would say them, but they have no secondary. So are they really going to stop Aaron Rodgers now? I don't know about that. This is actually really tough. They had to match up really well. They're my mid-season Super Bowl pick. So my preseason pick was Tampa Bay, but they're injured to shit now. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to do anything anymore. Next was Packers. That was our NFC Championship game. Yeah. So it was our backup. Our backup pick was Packers. I don't know who matches up well against them besides Dallas, to be honest. I don't think it's Los Angeles.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Especially when Stafford's been playing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so.
He's the most remote liability.
I'm saying Tampa, they're too injured.
Especially being in the playoff game. We'll get to him in a second. So, yeah, I don't think so either. I think Green Bay might win the Super Bowl.
It's possible.
They might win the Super Bowl.
They look like the most consistent, best team in the league right now. So, yeah, I don't hate it. All right, let's move on to Dallas. Their strengths. It's actually kind of tough. They do a lot of things well, but I don't think they do anything with an A plus. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like they run the ball well, but they don't run the ball that well. Like they pass well, but Dak's been kind of whacked the last
the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, last like month and they'd be kind of bad. So I don't think I did whack on purpose because it rhymes with his name. If I didn't catch that. Anyway, I don't think they pass all that well. You got Amari Cooper crying the other day, so I don't know. On defense, they don't cover that well, but they get picks though. But their defensive line, that has been consistent all year. So that's definitely their biggest strength on defense is their defensive line. They pass rush. It's been great. That's been consistent all year, even without DeMarcus Lawrence. Offensively, I have no idea what their strength is. They just do. You know what? Let's go with their strength is they do nothing bad. That's a strength. You can do everything well, but not great. Like you do everything in a B level. Why is that bad? It's not, right?
It's not bad.
That's what I'm saying. Especially in a year like this where everybody has a weakness. So if you do everything in a good level, you can be able to do something that goes to their weakness.
Because you're consistently average.
Yeah. I don't want to say, I don't think they're average, but...
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Saying that you're not going to do anything to mess up.
Yeah, that's what I think they are. Their weakness to me is coaching. Yeah. Let's see if McCarthy does something to mess things up, shall we? Green Bay fans know all about that.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. Okay, who they match up well against? I think they match up well against Green Bay, but again, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers usually stomps on them, so I don't know if that's the case.
This current Arizona team, I think they
we'll probably find out about that on Sunday.
I think that's the best matchup they want. It's like, that's going to be because Arizona. We'll get to that in a second, though. But Arizona, yeah.
And I think they match up well against the 49ers as well. They can pass on them pretty easily. And defensively, rattle Garoppolo and you have an issue. Well, San Francisco has an issue. And I think Dallas has the best pass rush in the NFC. Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, I think they match up well against them too. So, Dallas is pretty good. They might be the only ones, in my opinion, might be able to stop Green Bay. Rams. Their strength. I think it's Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp. And McVay's coaching for the most part. That's probably third for strength.
Coaching brilliance.
That's why I'm saying quotation brilliance. So yeah. Weakness is very bad to say. I think their weakness is Matthew Stafford right now.
At the worst opportune time right now.
Yeah. It's Matthew Stafford. I don't think he's played well at all this year.
I think playoff experience is going to go into comeback.
That's going to be very interesting
because the games he's never been in a game this big before in his career, except for that first round playoff game.
He's been in 2 or 3 first round exits.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
3, I think.
Yeah, so this they'll be at home, but no, he's never had a home playoff game before.
No, hell no. He's been in the same division as Green Bay.
No, he's never had a home playoff game, so this is gonna be tough. So I don't know. That could maybe be an effect. Who knows?
So let's see who they match up well against. It's tough. We're intentionally skipping Philly, by the way. Everybody might as well against Philly. Who they match up well against? I think Tampa. They match up well against Tampa.
No, they could beat them.
Mm-hmm. They match up well against Tampa Bay.
Arizona.
They match up well against Arizona too. I agree.
And San Francisco.
Huh.
For the division familiarity. I think in San Francisco.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah. I know there's an ownage chart in the NFC West though. I know San Fran can't beat Seattle.
Yeah, they can't for some reason. They can't.
So is it this way? San Fran always beats the Rams? Is that it? I know they're really. I'm serious. No,
it's true,
folks. It's true.
It's true.
There is a whole little like triangle or square, whatever you want to call it.
Actually, I think one of the NFC West fans made that perfectly clear. I think it was the Rams fan. I think believed who said, that they'll own like the 49ers own the Seahawks for some reason.
No, the other way around. Seahawks destroyed San Fran.
Seattle somehow can't beat San Francisco can't beat Seattle for some reason.
Yeah,
and they were awful this year, and they couldn't beat them.
They got swept.
They got swept. Arizona plays all three teams hard. For some reason, the Rams always beat.
That means they can't beat San Fran. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the title. That Rams can't beat San Francisco. You always lose Kyle Shanahan. I think that's what it is. I think that's the triangle, and then Arizona's just like the one that can beat all
three of them.
Yeah, and I think that's what the thing is.
That's tough.
Yeah, the Rams just swept Seattle, right?
Rams
swept Seattle. Yeah. That's a triangle. It says San Fran beats on the Rams, but can't beat Seattle. Seattle can't beat the Rams, but he beats up on
San
Fran. The Rams can't beat San Fran, but they beat up on Seattle. And then Arizona can beat all three of them depending on the day. That's weird.
That is very weird. And that's why it makes the NFC West so hard to pick in division winner. Like, if Seattle wasn't so garbage this year, that would have been the issue, but Seattle was completely horrible. So
that's good for San Francisco.
Yeah. because they don't want to see them again.
Yeah, they don't. They can't beat them.
Even on their worst days, you can't beat them.
That's weird.
That's weird.
That's weird. And I think that's consistent too. It's not just 1 year. I think it's been like that for a while. That's interesting. Tampa Bay. Weaknesses. Secondary. And now wide receiver depth because they lost Collins for the year. They still have Antonio Brown and Mike Evans for the playoffs though, so we'll see what happens there. Gronkowski. Let's see how long they stay upright. That's their weaknesses. So their strengths, Tom Brady.
And that's it.
Tom Brady, and I'll give them the pass rush, even though if you have the secondary, that almost means nothing, but it could help them. Okay, a best matchup.
Arizona.
You can say it for everybody, huh?
Arizona. Arizona.
Again, you're gonna say that for everybody, huh?
Yeah.
Stop hating on camera, bro.
I'm being for real. I'm not being for real. Listen, I'm just gonna keep on saying because I was right. Arizona ain't nothing. They're not that good. They're okay. They hyped them up early in the season. Hyped them up, said, "Oh, this is it." No, y'all trash. Sorry, they're garbage. And because of one reason, and I'm gonna get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're next.
Because they're next, yeah.
I'm trying to think of a team that they really match up well against. It's because of these damn injuries is really hard because it would be Green Bay, but they're too hurt. So can they really stop Devontae Adams? I don't think they can anymore.
No, I don't think they can.
I don't think they can anymore because of these injuries. If it wasn't for the injuries, it would be Green Bay.
Because I don't think they could beat the Rams. They don't know match up well with
no, I don't think that's the one. Like, that is the team I don't think they're beating. They don't want to see Los Angeles. I think, based on what we've seen this year. And I'm not talking about just the game that they got their ass beat in week 3. I'm talking about just overall, all 16 weeks, how they play, what's been going on. I think Rams will bounce them. They play. But you know what? I probably said Green Bay beats them. You know what? Forget it. I'm gonna give them Green Bay because like I don't know. I can't give them anyone else.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's Arizona for them. That's it. If not, it'll be a second round match.
They'll beat San Francisco too. I'll give them one. I'll give them San Francisco. Yeah. Tampa. They'll beat San Francisco. I think that's a good matchup. Now, who they match up bad against is the Rams. The Rams will take them out. I would, and I might bet money on it if it happens. Now, Arizona. What they do well. I think their strength, but they're not doing it. I don't know if they're saving it or they're just going to just choke away like they always do because they stopped doing it last year too. The dual threat of Kyler Murray, I think, is their strong suit, is their strength. When he's able to do both things well, similar with Josh Allen on the AFC side, they don't really lose games that's when Kyler Murray is at full strength. When he's able to run, spread out the defense, get his runs in, and get his dimes, you really can't stop them. It's kind of hard, very hard, especially with the healthy. But I mean, that's their strength. Weakness, that's obvious. It's probably what he's going to go towards is coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Coaching and inexperience.
Yes. And it's happening right before your very eyes. It's happening. Cliff Kingsbury, man.
But there's no question that's their weakness. It's not even close.
Yeah.
That dude, yeah.
He coaches us out of games. His son told me the game could be too big for him. He's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry, he's not ready. The fact that he's still in the position, whatever. But no.
Now, can you be positive and think of who they match up the best against
Honestly,
in the playoffs? That's not named Philadelphia. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be an ass, aren't you? You're gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no, but I ain't gonna be an ass. They can match up against.
You already started.
They can match up against Tampa Bay on Madden rookie mode.
I hate you.
That's how they can match up. Until
I
then,
hate you.
this team is not going anywhere. They're going to lose in the first round. Luckily, if Philadelphia was,
I hate this dude, bro.
if they were able to play Philadelphia in the first round, they would beat them.
Maybe.
But if you want to be nice, the only team they match up well against is San Francisco.
Which they won't see because they're in the wild card.
But they won't see because they're in the wild card. So therefore, they're screwed.
I'm gonna try to be nice. Let me think about this.
I'm sorry, Cardinals fans. If you're not getting that for me. As long as that man's your coach, I'm gonna roast y'all every single time. I don't care.
They can beat the Rams because they did it already, so they can beat them. And I think there actually are few of the teams that can actually match up well against. They actually do match up well against the Rams. I think they can beat them.
True.
They'll do it.
That makes sense.
I'm going with a healthy, full power. Kyler Murray is throwing and running. I'm going full power first half of the season Cardinals. That's what I'm going with. Going best case scenario. I think the Rams they match up well against. And I think they match up pretty well against Dallas too when healthy. Not this version. This version, Sunday, we're going to see a massacre in Dallas. But the way they are now. But I'm talking about in the playoffs, let's assume that Kyler's going to be full strength. The Hottie Hop's going to be full strength. Cool. With that, I think they beat Dallas too. I think they match up well. I don't think that defense is going to have an answer for Kyler Murray's full strength, still power thing. And I think that the Cardinals defense is really frisky enough to hold off that, especially the way they've been playing. But I'm going with that. I'm gonna be the good one, be the nice one. I'm usually the asshole in the show, and he's the one that be killing. But we switched roles today. I don't know why, but we did.
It's what it is.
All right, now. Bad matchups.
The entire NFC.
I hate this.
The entire NFC because they're not going anywhere.
I don't like their matchup with Tampa, and obviously Green Bay. I think those two. I don't like them against them. And it was funny. I almost let me pick the Rams too because the Rams could beat them because they did. Hence why they're division rivals. They took one on each other. So, and it didn't come down to the wire, but it did come down to the fourth quarter, the second time they played. So they still, even though they aren't playing as well, they still took competitive against the Los Angeles Rams. So that's why I'm giving them the benefit there. San Francisco, their strengths, coaching, defensive line, George Kittle. Those are the three things. The three ones right there. They both play well. They play well in the trenches, both sides. While offense and defense lines are pretty good. Defensive line is great. Nick Bosa's a savage. And George Kittle, as you saw in, I think it was the Cincinnati game, he's literally a one-man wrecking crew, cannot be stopped when healthy. He's like one of the best players in the league. Weaknesses, their freaking secondary is absolutely horrific. Oh my God, it's bad. If you block their defensive line, you're putting up 35. It's not possible for them to stop. Their secondary is an embarrassment. That's probably the weakest unit in the playoffs is their secondary. I think their secondary is worse than their Cincinnati's offensive line. That's how bad it is. I'm not talking about Miami doesn't count. And Eagles passing game doesn't count. I'm talking because I don't care about 7 seeds. They don't have a shot. So realistically, like that's how bad this secondary is. And Garoppolo's middle of the field eye vision is really bad too. He likes to throw linebackers, so beware. Their best matchup,
the Rams, for division familiarity.
The triangle.
Yes, the Rams.
The very interesting triangle.
Very interesting, and that's actually I can't believe that's actually a thing.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
I can't believe that's actually a thing. That's amazing.
It's a thing.
That's incredible. That's really incredible.
It's hilarious. Anybody else?
I think that's it. No.
Matchup wise,
no.
I can't really think of anybody else.
I don't think there could be anybody besides them. The Rams probably the only one, and that would really suck.
Maybe Green Bay, but if they don't stop Devontae, they're getting blown out. That's the thing. They have to stop Devontae. If they could do that, then they
chance.
have a chance. But are they gonna do that? Probably not. God bless you. I will make fun of you, but we have been on air for an hour and a half, so I'm dead.
And it did not sneeze, not once.
Until now, yes. But you did. Yeah. Anyway, that's tough.
That is tough.
Now, who matches up well against them? Is anybody with a real passing game? Like Dallas, on a good day, should beat the crap out of them because their line should be able to block Nick Bosa. And if that happens, Cooper and CD is going to have a field day. Theoretically, Los Angeles is supposed to be good, but according to that triangle, this Kyle Shanahan just knows how to beat up that Sean McVay system. So, yeah.
That's incredible.
That's mad funny. And Tampa should even without Chris Godwin, Tampa should be able to. Tom Brady should destroy them. And Philly. Are we even going to talk about this?
No, because they're not going to beat anybody.
They may not even stay in this position, but
yeah, because the Vikings are a thing.
Yeah, so but I don't like them. They can't throw the ball. They cannot throw. So that's their weakness. Their strength is the running game. They put up 200 plus rushing yards on you out of nothing. But their weakness,
stop the run, and
they will not score. They will not score.
But if you allow them to run 20 yards on you got a problem.
You have a small issue, yes. But their defense is old and is a little slow, so you can still be able to score on them regardless. But yeah. But they have a decent defense though. They're not bad. They're just old.
Yeah. Other than that.
Yeah, I think we're done. That's our playoff overview. Next week is probably gonna be a quick week. It's week 17, unless something crazy happens. But 18's show is gonna be a big show because it's basically gonna recap the entire NFL season. We're gonna have award stuff. We're gonna have we might go back on the predictions again and really compare the actual full results to what we predicted. And I have a feeling we're not going to be off as we're thinking right now.
I don't think we're all going to be off either.
Yeah.
I only think how you off with, I said Texas will go win 17, and they won 4 games.
They won for now. It might be more.
For now.
Excuse me. So stuff like that. So that'll be a fun show. I'm trying to think if we have a guest or not. We might.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, we got 2 weeks. We'll see. But yeah, we're done.
Yes. Yeah.
Hour and a half show. I knew it was going to be a long show, especially since we haven't recorded in 2 weeks. So there you go.
Yes. Well, fans, you may count on Cliff Kingsbury completing a complete asshole and coaching out of games, but you can always count on us giving you content when we're well and not sick and being messed up by it. Well, whatever. The point is, you can find us. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just go to your Apple devices.
You're not supposed to say that word, right? You're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, we can't. Now YouTube, it's stupid, but whatever.
The C word.
Yes. Coco. We'll call it that. Coco. Yes. So yeah, go to your Apple Podcast apps. Type in Sports 90 Podcast, and you'll see us there. You can download content right there as well. We're also available on any podcast platforms all over. Just find us there. You can scan your phone or mobile device with the QR code on the right-hand side of the screen, and you'll be able to find us there as well. See, we're reliable too. Other than that, we'll see you guys very soon. Peace, love, and applesauce.